What's up, everyone? So, thank you for joining us today. Today, we are interviewing this badass entrepreneur. Her name is Kara Renninger. You might know her before from her 90-day check-in from partnering with Viral Growth Media. We are officially at the 6-month mark in our time working together. Real quick, Kara, can you just remind everybody who you are, what you do, and who you serve?
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. So, who I am, Kara Renninger. I serve coaches and consultants and service providers, and I support them with scaling their businesses to multi-seven figures.
Awesome. I love it. I love it. So, this is a different Kara that we're meeting in this interview, guys. I think it's really interesting. So, in your 0 to 3 months type of interview, you were dealing with all these different types of challenges. And obviously, guys, you guys can go and watch that and listen to what she was saying then. But let's talk about the last 3 months. So from month 3 to month 6, what's been your single greatest takeaway?
My single greatest takeaway is that I can do this. I think that's my biggest takeaway, that I believe in myself. Now, I still have doubt sometimes, like everyone else, and I need support and encouragement, but that I am doing it. It is happening.
What would you say to the 0 to 3 month version of you?
Just keep going. I tell myself to just keep going and just be open. Just be open. Even though in the beginning, I think I was feeling a lot of challenges on, can I do this? Will this work? I have a family and I was busy and it was hard and stressful for me at times, and it still is. But if I could have seen the outcome that I'm at now, if I could have seen myself feeling this type of freedom that I feel now in knowing how to generate leads for my own business and scale my revenue like I am, I don't know if I could have believed it then, but I wish I could have, because I could have got myself here faster, maybe.
What do you think the big problem that you solved in this 3 to 6 month container has been? What was the biggest problem that you solved?
Is working on getting myself out of the business and sitting in the right seat in my business, which is the CEO business. I know you and I have talked and sometimes joke around, and you told me I'm obsessed with being an operator. And I can say I don't love hearing that, but there's some truth to it. I've been so busy scaling other people's businesses and literally making them millions of dollars that I wasn't doing for myself. And so it's been challenging for me to see where I'm continuing to stay in the operator seat and identifying that, really it's about being a leader and how to grow my business in that way. It's about building teams and being a leader. And that can be hard to do when you're not confident in yourself or you don't believe in yourself that you can have that for yourself. I think that felt challenging. But now, with the support really of you and VGM, I am here now. I know I wouldn't be here without that support. And that's what's got me to this place, is just having that support, because I certainly didn't believe it myself, at the time when I started.
Thank you for sharing. So we know that now you're in this phase of leadership and just driving the company forward and getting out of the day-to-day. What would you say the biggest problem that you solved in months 0 to 3?
Getting myself set up to scale. So creating my product, I was delivering a lot of one-to-one service at the time. And somebody asked me this earlier today, like, who was your avatar when you started? And I said, anybody who would pay me money was my avatar. And that was true. And I've had to do a lot of work on that and really get the clarity. So I think, and it's the thing that nobody wants to do. People are like, I already done avatar work. I know my niche. I don't need to validate it again. And by allowing myself to explore that, with the support here and going through the processes that we worked through, it's helped me really laser in on what problem I'm solving. And without doing that, I don't think I'd be clear enough. So I wouldn't be able to help the people that I'm helping now, making the impact that I'm making, if I didn't spend the time getting clear on that. And I didn't have a program to sell. I only have my time to sell. So you're always going to run out of time, because we all have a certain amount. And so I developed my own program, which I feel really good about it. I created for my business the balance and scale method, and I never had something that was my own. It makes me feel a little emotional saying it, but I never had something that was my own to sell. I only have my time to sell. So I could only value myself based on my time that I would give to things. And now I feel so excited. Like I show up to my program and I work with people helping them with their business. And I don't have to do it one-to-one anymore. Actually, it's even better to help people in the program in the way I have. And I never would have done that without being here. Like I never would have had the confidence or the know-how to do that myself. I did it for other people and I would never have done it for myself. So now I have something. I don't even have it all the way built yet. And I'm selling it already since I've been here. And sometimes that's a stressor for me, but I'm building it as I've been selling it. So I've been generating revenue while I've been bringing my life's work, and I never saw myself like that as somebody who had sort of a life's work and a way to help people. I always lived a life of wanting to help others, and that's a passion for me in life. But I never saw myself being able to do it this way like I have. So I really, really have you to thank for that. And I really mean that.
Thank you for trusting in us. Before we get into the revenue, because I know everybody's going to want to know, where are you at today in revenue, Kara? Before we get there, I think it's really important to touch on one thing. It's what you just mentioned, right? Which is what I call the traditional coaching, consulting, service-based business slavery trap, which is when you sell your time for money, right? So what was the big aha moment, the light bulb moment that went off for you? Obviously it's now that we're not selling your time, it's that we're selling infrastructure, we're selling people a system, a process that they can install inside of their business and manage themselves. But what was it for you? When did it just click and you were just like, oh shit, this is what the lucid chart is for. This is what breaking it all down on, what was it for you?
I was thinking about this and reflecting a little bit today and, thinking it was about, for me, being able to be open and willing to change. And I think I didn't understand that I was in the slavery flywheel, I shall say. I didn't want that to be true, right? I didn't want to see myself the way I really was. And I'm trying to support my family. That's been my goal in life, is to support my family. That's my motivation. Other people's story is I always wanted this business or something. That's not true. I've been trying to take care of my kids, manage my family, and working for other people for so many years, giving way too much of myself. I didn't realize that until I got here, that I had a lot of knowledge and that I could help other people. I was just giving it away, keeping my energy source way too open. And I didn't want to believe it was true that I was only as valuable as the time I had to give. Once I start, and I started to believe that because you believed in me, because I had the support from the program and you believed in me. So when I wasn't feeling that way, I was able to borrow your beliefs in me until I got myself to the place now where I do believe in myself.
I love to hear it. I love to see the progress. I love to see you building your team and letting them do what they're experts at without micromanaging them, without being just hovering over them, and letting them just take ownership of the outcomes that they're producing inside of your business. I truly do believe that is the only way to truly scale. Once your individual contributors realize that, oh shit, I'm responsible for this outcome. I'm responsible for creating innovation. Maybe there's a better way we could do this. Maybe I can do research, create a report for Kara, and Kara can approve on this, and we could take this, and this is my initiative, and this is something I own. That's when you're building something bigger than yourself, and you're no longer stuck in selfishness. So let's get into what the people want to know: the revenue. So real quick, let's recap. How much did you make from 0 to 3 months in working with Viral Growth Media?
$225K.
And from month 3 to month 6, what was the total revenue collected?
I've added $370K in months 3 to month 6.
And from 0 to 6 months, what's total revenue collected?
$595K.
$595K in 6 months. How does that make you feel?
Giddy, it makes me feel really empowered. It's not about the dollars, obviously. It's about how I feel. It's about, like I said in the beginning, believing in myself. It's about knowing that I got this. I can do this. I have support. I have what I need, and I can keep learning. Like I think that's the biggest thing is knowing. And I have so much more opportunity. Like I'm always joking around. I'm like, I don't even have everything set up to scale up my own business because I've been so busy setting this up and getting sales here that I haven't really even had time to like manage everything. So just to know that there's more of an opportunity for me to keep scaling for myself and to keep systematizing and to keep building, I think that's what I feel most excited about. And like I said, I didn't start this business out of a dream. It was out of necessity. I lost my job at the end of the pandemic and I was like, oh my gosh, I need a job. And then, I'm grateful that people who I've connected with in the past reached out to me and asked me to help them with their business based on that. I'm grateful that that happened for me because I wouldn't have started this business without it. It happened by accident. And so maybe that's why I didn't have my vision clear enough in the beginning for myself. And maybe that's a good thing, because I was open to developing it as I've gone and I've trusting. Like, I think that's the other big thing is all the weight's not on my shoulders. That's me, that's my life, that's the way I do it. And that's not always the best way. I'm learning that it's okay to have help, to have a team. When you were talking earlier, I was thinking one of the biggest things that I've uncovered for myself through the process, I call it my no manifesto. I had to get kind of clear on like, what am I not available for anymore? How am I going to move myself forward? And it was that I'm no longer available to be responsible for other people's outcomes. And I had to own that. I'm not responsible for my clients' outcomes. I'm not responsible for the team. I'm responsible to support people, guide, and give what I say, but I don't have direct control over all the outcomes. And that's a lesson that I needed to learn. And I'm still learning it sometimes too.
Awesome. That's beautiful. It's beautiful. Yeah. It's not you that has to be responsible. It's the systems, the processes, and them also being held accountable to actually doing everything, right? Because you can't force anybody to do anything,
No.
period.
And I was carrying that weight on my shoulders forever. Like, I think that that's been what my biggest challenge is. It's all on me. And I don't know if that comes from my mom life, my mom role experiences of being a mother of four, but it was always that pressure on myself that I had to make everything work. And I just learned here with your support that that's just not true. That I can have support, I can have systems, I can have structures that support me, not someone else's business that can support me. I can have time to breathe. I can have time to take care of myself. I can have time, probably for the first time ever, to start to think about what I do want in my future. Somebody said to me earlier this week, my plans for next year, they had like going to all these different vacation spots and all these things. And I had this moment and I thought to myself, I don't even have that in my plans. Like I can do that now. I can think about where I want to go with my family next year and what I want to do. And this person wanted to buy some things that would help their family. And I had this epiphany. I was like, my gosh, I haven't even let myself think that. It's just been go, 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 do. Now I have the freedom that I can actually think about that. The most important thing to me is my family. And I can have more time and more money to do the things I want with them. So I'm really excited about that.
That's so awesome, dude. It's so much more than just the 595K, right? Like or 600K, whatever you call it, if you want to round up. But it's so much more than that. It's the person you're choosing to become, which the money is just as a byproduct attracted to.
Yes. It feels like it's an attraction thing. And I got here because of what I learned in VGM. I got here from the support and guidance that you gave me. I was successful in my business before I came here, but I was like killing myself. I was successful on the, hustle, never ending. I used to say, I was like, I live a lie. I talked to people about having balance in their life. And like, meanwhile, I'm back here in my pajamas, working on my computer, like hustling. And there's just a different way to do things that's connecting me to a lot more abundance than I even knew I could have.
That's awesome, dude. I'd love to hear it. So what would you say, like in this last 3 to 6 months, this specific container of time, what surprised you the most of the person you're becoming?
Ooh, that's a good one. What surprised me the most of the person I'm becoming? A leader, I'll say. I always saw myself as a leader and I always have been a leader. Maybe there's a better word for it, I'm not sure, but leading for my own purpose, for the purpose of my business, my company, my family. I was leading before because I had to, because that's what I was doing in my job and my responsibilities and what I needed to do for my family. And now I think just being a leader in a different way, like a visionary, I guess that's a better word. I feel like I've
A
always,
visionary leader.
yeah, being a visionary leader. I think that's what surprised me. I felt that in the past, like in all the roles that I filled. I was the visionary in a lot of ways in businesses, but I never had that role. You know, it was not defined, it was not spoken, but I was, the secret visionary. I really used to always feel like that. And it was frustrating for me. And now I feel like seeing this vision of the future and learning how to lead to achieve that vision, that's been a really big surprise to me.
That's awesome, dude. I love to hear this. So walk me through what's made you the most happy about the person who you're becoming.
I think that's such a great question. I was thinking about this, how before I got here within the past few years, I was Googling, how can I feel happier? I was actually typing those words in Google search. And, I have a beautiful family and I had a good career, earning multi six figures, but I wasn't feeling all that fulfillment inside. And the fulfillment that I feel now, I can't explain it, but, sometimes being a mom, you maybe lose yourself in the process. And the fulfillment that I feel now, it's a different happiness. It's a different, like, fulfilling my ambition inside, my drive, and letting me take charge of leading to where I want to lead without having to do all the work. I think that's the difference. And that's giving me a different kind of happiness that I wanted. And instead I was just overworking for other people and feeling unsatisfied and not feeling valued and not valuing myself enough. And now I feel a different level of happiness and I really like it.
I love to hear it. So let me ask you this. What would you say to someone who's on the fence about partnering with Viral Growth Media?
Well, there's the proof. Like I said, for me, it's been like life-changing, game-changing, not because I brought in 595K in 6 months. That's not why it's been life-changing. It's because I now have the tools to make and bring in and support as many people and make a big impact in the world as much as I want to. And that's what I've learned, and that's the support that I had. And that's what's been the game changer for me. It wasn't about the systems, the processes, all the things that I've learned here. Yes, 100%. And it's been about how I've learned to shift into being the leader that I'm meant to be. And that's been the biggest change for me. And by doing that, I'm attracting, a lot more revenue, which is super exciting and giving me a lot more freedom and flexibility in life.
I love it, dude. Well, you heard it from Kara herself, guys. There's no success without making massive changes internally so that the external things that you want are attracted to you, guys. There's no other way to do it, right? You gotta take massive action as well. So thank you so much for sharing your story with us, Kara. Dude, I'm excited for the next 30-day or 90-day check-in, man. It's going to be awesome. I already know, because you are a badass entrepreneur, and we are so grateful to be able to partner with you and help you grow and develop so that you can have a business that actually fulfills you, that gives you momentum, and you know that you're making a scalable impact in this world. We will see you guys in the next check-in. Bye.